Welcome to my kitchen. I am Bee from Thermi Tucker. Many of you know me as Belinda, but a lot of you know me as Bee. So today's session, I will be showing you how easy it is to make boiled eggs in your Thermomix. Now, if you can think back to when you first started cooking, the good old trick of getting it right, well, I never got it right. And yes, I'm confessing, I always used to overboil my eggs in my family. There was only one person that wanted their eggs really soft, that was my dad, and I could never get it right. It was always a big mess. So obviously, as I had my own little family, I hardly ever used to do anything with eggs in the morning because of the fact that I would always get that little grey ring around the edge where the yolk was, and obviously that does not look appealing. So thank goodness for the Thermomix. We don't have to watch a pot getting boiling hot, or putting the eggs in before it boils, or do any of that type of thing. So what I'm going to do is show you the TM6 method using the egg boiler function. So for those of you that haven't seen this in use yet, trust me, it is a great little addition to your TM6. Now, if you do have a TM5 and a TM31, I will show you exactly what to do as well with that. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm prepping 6 eggs. So using this function on the machine, what you need to do is have your driving screen up with your 3 circles and flick on over to the edge, and then touch and look for the egg boiler option. So touch that. That will then come up initially the first time you touch that with a screen of instructions telling you exactly what to do. So between 2 to 6 eggs, all we need to do is make sure that we're going to put our eggs straight inside. And I know this sounds really bizarre because it's a sharp blade. Why on earth would I be doing that? I promise it works. So I'm going to be putting 6 whole eggs into my jug. And then what I want to do is make sure, it does say about sizing. I've never had an issue when I've gone over what the recommendation is. So put this onto your jug, onto your bowl, I should say, onto your base, and then you're going to pour in your water up to where the 1 liter mark is at the back of your jug. So just pour that in, and this will then have the lid put on, and we're going to then, according to what the recommendation is, you'll actually see it's soft, medium, soft, medium hard, and hard. This will obviously, on the TM6, I don't have to do any of the thinking, because I'm going to push at the top right the little cross that will take me out of that, and I can then select what type of eggs I want to have for today. So for this instance, what I'm going to do is spin this up to hard. We're having hard-boiled eggs tonight for the family, and that means that the Thermomix will weigh in the eggs and the water and actually guesstimate, or not guesstimate, but it is a smart device that will be able to tell you, according to the weight and your eggs, your water, does the calculations, and it does everything for you. So initially you will see on the left hand side, it will tell you approximately 19 minutes. So initially when you pour your goodies in, it's going to do that calculation, and as it's thinking and it's increasing obviously with the temperature, it will then adjust that time. It is never 19 minutes, I promise. It's usually about 12 to 14 minutes. So in speaking about this, because now I don't have to do anything, I can walk away, it will ring when it's done and it's finished. So I'm going to show you the manual way of cooking. Yes, it's just, Nicole, I see, yes. I'm just making some boiled eggs today. Very clever. The machine does everything. And hi, Janie. Good to see you. Yes, this machine does all the thinking for you. So I'm going to, obviously the TM6, it's a smart device. It will do the calculations for you. You can come back when it sings. But there is the old-fashioned way of doing it using our basket. So before I just get started explaining this, you can actually then, when this is done, and it's sung to you, take out that hot water and put in the cold water, or you can use something like your clamps, pull out the hot eggs and put them in your basket and rinse them under cold water. That will stop the cooking 100%. So if you want to have them served that way, or in other words to go in the fridge, or if you want to serve them straight away to have with your toast in the morning, absolutely do that. Serve them straight away. You don't have to worry about cooling them down. But this little instance of creating your boiled eggs the old-fashioned way, I should say the TM31 way, is actually using the manual calculations. So if you want to, and you've never made this before, have a look at, I'm looking at the TM6 book specifically. I know it's in the TM31 and the TM5 book, but you'll be able to see on page 228 there is actually information about boiled eggs. And if you're doing the calculation yourself and doing the measurement for the time, in other words, you're using those 3 circles initially, you will adjust it according to what your preference is with your eggs. So it ranges between 10 minutes and 14 minutes. Obviously, the longer you go, the harder the egg becomes. So it would go inside here, 6 eggs, and then put that inside, fill your water up to 1 liter mark, put the lid on, and then cook accordingly. So it's most probably about speed 1, and then adjust your temperature. I'm just going to double check what it indicated on here. Yep, it was Varoma, obviously, because it's steaming up and forcing that hot air through. Now, if you're like me, like I say, initially when my children were small, I didn't really cook eggs, but I know now because they're teenagers, they have to have something that is packed full of protein. I always look for a great clean source of protein, and this is a wonderful thing to have inside your fridge. So if you are thinking of making much more than the 6 eggs that will fit inside your basket or inside your Thermomix TM6, you can put 12 eggs in your Varoma. So the Varoma fits on top here. You would do the same process as you would manually, spin it up to the temperature that you would, so obviously Varoma, or I should say the time that you require, depending on how you want your eggs cooked. But in my instance, when it comes to my family, they prefer hard eggs. So I would then put them in the Varoma, cook them for about 15 minutes, 1 liter, speed 2. That would, Varoma temperature would get pushed up into the basket, and that would hard boil the eggs, which can then be cooled down and placed in the fridge so that those are easy snacks to be able to have. So I hope that has helped you a little bit. I'll give you a couple of ideas. Boiled eggs are so versatile. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. A really favorite way growing up that my mum used to make was just a little dash of mayonnaise and some curry powder with some salt and pepper. So curried eggs that were mashed up, put onto our sandwiches. That was a great addition with some crunchy lettuce. Obviously breakfast, sliced eggs on your toast, or if you love your soldiers, the dippy soldiers, you can do that. And for us tonight, what we're going to have is some beautiful sourdough that's been sliced up, and the boys love to have some sliced eggs on top with some mayonnaise, cucumber, and some pickles. So that is a quick dinner for us tonight. Really a great simple meal. It's just too hot to be inside the kitchen today, so this will literally do itself, cook itself, and it can come back and it's done. So I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions about the egg boiler function or anything to do with the specific guidelines, please touch base with me and I'll be happy to help you. Hope you have a fantastic day.